Pantry, and today I am going to make use of my leftover ham from Easter, and I've got the bone. This was a ham butt, and so I've got about 2.5 cups of ham I cut off of it, and then the bone is going in there. And in my stock pot here, and this is by Tupperware, by the way, this is their elite cookware. It is phenomenal. I guarantee you it will rival any cookware you've ever tried. And it does come with a limited lifetime warranty, which you don't get that with Wolfgang Puck or any of those. So, not to pick on him, but you know what I mean. So, I've got my dry beans, and I've already rinsed and sorted these. There was 3 that looked kind of iffy, and I'm telling you, you think that there's no dirt on these. They're dirty. They're dusty and they're dirty, and you really want to rinse them well with some warm water. So I've got those 3 cups of those, and I'm going to bring you in close here in a second. I've got 1 large onion, several cloves of garlic because I love it. I'm also going to use some green chilies from Thrive, and this is going to come together and make a delicious, absolutely delicious pot of ham and beans. In my stock pot, I have 3 quarts of turkey stock, and this is from turkey breast that I had cooked down for my daughter's dog, and no added anything in there, just plain turkey stock. I'm going to be adding a bay leaf later on in the process after these beans have had a chance to simmer and start to get soft. Then I'll add cumin and chili powder, and this pot of beans is so good. So guys, come on in close and I'll show you how I do it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my garlic, and because it simmers so long, the garlic ends up sweet. I'm going to chop up this onion into quarters, and so I don't have to cry about it. I'm putting it in the Power Chef by Tupperware, and I don't have to use electricity. I don't have a heavy item to have to deal with. Oop, and it goes all over the counter. So we'll grab those off the clean counter, and in here we go. And this is nice because it's going to be all in one thing. And you can chop it as fine or as coarse as you'd like. I like, it's gonna melt into the soup, so I'm good with that. Okay, so we'll take the lid off, and look at that. In very little effort, very little time, we have onions and garlic all chopped up. So let me bring this over, and I'm gonna grab my bay leaves, because I didn't grab them. So I got bay leaves, and I need a spatula to get that out of the chopper. So I'm gonna grab bay leaves. I keep them in here, and I'm gonna put 2 of them down in here. I don't want really strong bay flavor, but I think it's important. So take your blade out of the Power Chef, and it's a chop and drop kind of a thing. Get your spatula in there, and I might make some pico here, so I don't even know if I'm going to clean this up. I'm just going to chop up another onion and get some cilantro and garlic and tomatoes. And I'll have pico in about 5 minutes, which is very good on top of these beans. I like to, sometimes I top it with that or hot sauce, but just perfect. Okay, so now I've got my beans, and like I said, it's 3 cups of beans already rinsed and drained, sorted, and there you go. So you want to make sure you have at least, a couple of inches of liquid above your beans, and I'll be checking throughout the day at their progress. I like to slow cook them, so it'll at least take a couple of hours. So these are the green chilies from Thrive, and I'm going to put a couple of good handfuls, so probably a cup of green chilies, and They're not hot, but they're gonna add tons of flavor and it's gonna be delicious. So, okay, put this back and we will get this on the stove and start simmering. And I will I'll add a little bit of pepper, some garlic powder, and onion powder. The difference is it's just gonna add different levels of flavor. It's subtle, but it does work. So you wanna, whenever you're adding onions and garlic, I try to add both in the dry form and in the fresh form, and or freeze-dried form. So I've got you over at the stove. I want you to see everything I'm doing. So this is the onion powder, and I'm probably gonna add the equivalent to a tablespoon. We'll just say that's a tablespoon. And then I'm gonna add a tablespoon, even tablespoon of granulated garlic. And we're gonna need some cracked black pepper. It's gonna be so good. It's, you can call these, they're pretty close to the, I think they call them charro beans. My girlfriend and I were talking about this, and it's pretty close. So I'm gonna get this a stir, and then I'm gonna get my meat and that ham bone in here. Oh, and I probably, like I said, I probably will have to add a little bit more liquid along the way as those beans swell up. Which is fine. So we're gonna get our bone in here and our ham. And this ham was smoked for 4 hours on the big green egg. So it's got a wonderful flavor. I don't know that you could duplicate that any other way. It's just fantastic. So there we go. Let's get this simmering. And like I said, I have another quart of the turkey stock. You could use chicken stock or just plain water. Any of the above works just fine. I think I need a little bit more pepper. And I want to tell you, I do soak my ham overnight in plain water to try to leach out some of the salt that ham has in it, so it's not overly salty. I just, it works really, really well. So next time, and especially when you're smoking it, it's nice to have some of that moisture just to, I mean, you can't dry it out. So on the smoker. All right, that's what's happening. I'm gonna get the lid on this, and well, where is the lid? Well, I'll get the lid on this and we'll get this up to a simmer. All right, I'll be back. Okay guys, so I forgot to turn the camera on. I put 3 ribs of celery in here. I added 1 more quart of turkey stock, and I added a heaping tablespoon of cumin and a level tablespoon of chili powder. I also added a teaspoon of ground black pepper, and oh my goodness, oh, and a half of a jalapeno. I don't want it too spicy. I really want the ham flavor, the smoky flavor to come through. And it's gonna be delicious with some cornbread. So we're gonna now cook this without the lid on it and let it just simmer and reduce and thicken up. It's almost time to take the bone out, but not quite. I really want all the benefits of what that bone has to offer as far as flavor goes. And there's plenty of ham in there though. Look at those beautiful beans. They're almost there. You can pinch them. But now it's time to just cook it down. So probably another hour, and it's been on here a total of an hour and a half. So, okay guys, it's gonna be delicious. I can't wait for cornbread. Yummy. If you want to see a recipe on how I do cornbread, leave me a comment. Okay guys, so I have to show you how beautiful this came out. It's reduced, it's thick, it's delicious. There was only like 3 pieces of ham left on that bone, but this is ready to let me give you a taste test. So I'm gonna just dish up a little bit. I'm not gonna eat this whole bowl, so look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get you a taste test. It's screaming hot, so I'm gonna bring you in close and then we'll have a little chitty chat and I'll let you know what I think. Okay guys, so I've dished up a little bit here for me. I'm not going to show you the cornbread and all that I'm doing with this right now, but if you want to see that, let me know. I am just going to give you a taste test. It smells amazing. And I've tasted it. You kind of have to taste along the way, but the broth is thickened up. I let it reduce down by about an inch. So good. Now, when I serve this, I will serve it with some fresh, diced, very tiny tomato and onion, maybe a little cilantro, and we're gonna have some cornbread. But this will be even better tomorrow. So I'm gonna hold this over and get the second day pot of beans, because just like soups or anything else, everything's gonna have a chance to marry up, and it's gonna be even better tomorrow for dinner. So that's what I'm planning, and that's when I'll make my cornbread and all that. If you wanna see a recipe or an idea on that, go ahead and leave me a comment. And as always, guys, don't forget to use those green chilies from Thrive, because they are delicious, and I believe they're on sale right now with the Thrive sale going on. So good. All right. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, leave me a comment if you want to see something else. And if you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notified whenever I upload, and